What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of NAS100 analysis today. Guys, I hope you lot have had an amazing week with your trades this week, right? I hope it went really well. You was able to catch some moves, right? So what I'm going to do is we're just going to get straight into what we kind of discussed from last week, because it rolls on into this week in terms of how things, not this week, last week, sorry, because obviously you're seeing this on a Sunday, right? So it rolls off into what happened last week. So the previous week when I did the video, what happened after that video, which was last week, right? And then what may happen next week, which is yet to unfold. That is all of this area over here, completely blank, unwritten story, right? So with that done, first things first, I'm going to bring in my my separator, and I'm going to lock in where we did the last video from. So the information that we had, where we took off from. So yeah, we say it's here. So I'm just going to lock that in. Just going to lock that in right there. Okay, fantastic. And also as well, you would notice that there was two zones that are marked out. So we had this zone over here, which is the 15,383.9. This one right here, this was that was the daily high. And then we have this the weekly low that are marked out as 15,141.9, right? Now clearly, as we can see, as we move throughout the week, the previous weekly low, so that is week commencing the 4th of September, I believe. Yep, the 4th of September, okay. That was the weekly high that was set. I mean, that was the daily high, that was the week, sorry. So this was the weekly high that was set for week commencing the 4th of September, right? And this was the weekly low that was set for week commencing 4th of September. And this was the daily high for the Friday, right? For the Friday. So last week, couple scenarios took place, right? So last week just gone, we could see that market clearly pushed above the daily high of the Friday, okay, but stayed within the structure that I had drawn out. So this is the structure that I drew out, okay, right? So you probably see it in the other video, the one prior to this one. This was a structure that I drew out, and you can see that market stayed within it, right? And like I say, it has a tendency to break down. So what did it do? It broke down briefly, right? It broke down briefly, came back down to the major level, right? And then shot back up to the upside. So we can see there's a lot of things taking place around this major level. There's a lot of things happening around this major level. And that's something that we definitely need to be mindful of moving forward. 100%. We got to make sure that we know what it is that we're doing and how we're navigating this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically just squeeze all this in briefly, okay, just so that we have a nice idea as to what we need to be doing. All right. So I am still waiting for a touch, the third touch on either this side or that side. Now this may come next week, so it may come from tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow, Monday, you may actually you may get it on a Tuesday. It just depends, and that would be price coming down to the previous week's low, right? So that will be it coming down to basically bounce off this low over here, which will give us our third touch on the downside. And then after that, we're just waiting for price to push up to the upside. So if you want and you're upward facing, you could ride that wave to the upside if you want to, or you could wait for it to settle and then ride it downwards. Okay, so these are things that you could definitely do. All right. Also as well, right? In situations like this, what it is that I find is that it's really easy, okay, to use a bot like an expert advisor. Okay, so I've used a fair few experts advisors. Like I've definitely used them. I don't talk bad against expert advisors. Sorry. If you program them up right, okay, they will do your bidding for you and they will do it on point. But first things first, it's always good to backtest expert advisors on the particular strategy that you've programmed it to do. Okay, so I mean, if you want more details about how to set up an expert advisor and things of that nature, i.e. using a bot, a trading bot, and this is only specific to people that are using MT5 platforms and MT4 platforms. I use the MT5 platform, but if you're using MT4, which the vast majority of people will be using MT4 platforms, and there is a possible couple that will be using MT5, okay, and the ones that are really new to trading, most of them will be using the broker's web browser to make decisions, right? But so if you're one of those guys that is using your broker's own web browser to make decisions, then chances are you kind of want a bot for TradingView, right? Because chances are there is more of a likelihood that you can integrate with TradingView than with an MT5 or MT4. And when I say MT5, MT4, I'm referring to MetaTrader. So MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, right? One of the two. So if you're using MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, definitely look in the description box. There is a link to setting up a bot, so you can go there, pick up a bot that's all done for you, all right, okay? And then there is also another thing as well in there where you're able to basically, they'll show you how to program and reprogram the bot, so you can get that bot and save it to one side and back test it and do everything you're supposed to do in that one area, okay? And then on the other side, you can then get a brand new bot for yourself, and then you can start programming that yourself, right? Now, there is a saying that goes, okay, you can definitely pay somebody to do the bot for you. Me, I will never pay anyone to build me a bot. Do you know why? Because if my strategy is good, there is no reason for them to give me back that bot. They could just refund my money back to me, right? Which is what they mostly do. Once they back test it and it looks solid, they will give you back your money, say, hey, take your money, we don't want it, the bot is too hard, we can't complete it, and then they'll go and use your bot. Alright, so you want to know how to build your own bot, so the link is in the description. Make sure you definitely go check that out, okay? Right? And it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's super reasonable. Just go in there and just go figure it out. Just read the content and everything about it, okay? Right? And if it makes sense, then go do it. If it doesn't, then obviously it doesn't. But me personally, knowing how to do something is always the way forward, in my opinion. In my opinion, is always the way forward. So getting on with the business of the day. So moving forward from next week. So from next week commencing the 18th of September, okay, which is all of this, there is a couple things we need to keep an eye on. Price still has not gone above this weekly high over here, which is super important for us. We want to be aware of that, okay? And price has not gone below this weekly low. So for the first time, it is in the middle. So this is the weekly high of last week, right? So it has not taken that one out, right? So it's within the weekly highs and it is within the weekly lows, because this one over here is the low of last week. So this is the low of last week right here, right? So this is where we kind of want to be a little bit careful in terms of how we move in the market, because right now we are definitely in the area of ambiguity. I don't know what direction market is going to move in. I do not know what direction market is going to move in, but however, I have a few ideas as to what can help us make sure that even if it does do anything crazy, we're still able to gain something from it. So the rules will be the same as follows. The same rules is what we're going to go by, which is we want a daily high or a daily low of the Friday taken out, right? That is what we're after. If we have something like that take place, then that will give us somewhat of an idea what market plans to do. It's not the full picture, right? So it's not because it's done that, it definitely means it is going to do that. No, that's not what that means. So let me just bring this back for a second. So if you can, wait, let's zoom in. Because this is the perfect example, right, of being careful. So this level over here, this zone over here, we can see is the weekly high of the Friday. Market went above that. So you could have put in an entry here and you could have grabbed something tiny. So this move from here to here, I don't even consider that anything in my opinion. I always want to go for the bigger ones, the bigger moves, right? But it's still workable depending on your lot size. This can be very, very, very respectable, okay, right? But then what happened? It came under that weekly high. Okay, it came under that weekly high. So depending on how you set yourself up, so say you bought here, right? You saw it go above the daily high, so you thought, okay, you're all good, and then you put your stop in this zone right here. All right, this is where people freak out and they say, yeah, it's the broker. No, it's not the broker. It's not. So you put, it's gone above the daily high, right? You put in your buys, you've gone up, everything is great. You've left it because you're confident it's going to keep pushing up, right? You're confident it's going to keep pushing up. Then it comes back down. This is your stop loss. You get taken out, right? And then it goes up, and it goes up even higher, right? So just because it's crossed a daily high, caution needs to be applied. If it crosses a daily high in regards to an overall major move, then, and you know that you're actually at the top level of that location. So say for example, you're putting in a sell and your sell is up here, right? Or your sell is up here, all right? Then you're solid. And how I normally determine if I'm in the best location is how far am I away from the previous high or the previous low. So if I'm selling, how close am I to the week's previous weekly high? And if I'm buying, how far away am I from the previous weekly low? So for example, taking buys from this level over here, once confirmation has been given that it is going up, okay, that would be an ideal location. Why? Because of its proximity to this one over here. Okay, just as taking a sell up here or taking a sell up here makes sense, it's because in proximity to the previous weekly high. Right? So that's how I look at it. I just try to keep everything as simple and as logical as possible, because that is how a computer will basically see it. Right? So I try to remove my feelings from it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, my friends. That is not easy. That is damn near impossible. Right? And to make those decisions, we have to do a lot of scribbles all over the chart just to make sure that, okay, right, all right, okay, cool, this is what we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna do it. Right? So in my opinion, for next week, let's try to follow these two really simple rules, okay? We want to see a weekly high taken out, right? And in this case, this would be the daily high. So this level over here and this level over here, okay? So let me just move this little widget, just move that over here. And let's move that price point here so you guys can see it. And then let's move this widget over here. Actually, let me point it to the actual spot so we know what we're talking about, right? So these are the weekly highs, and day two happen to be the daily highs for the Friday. All right, we need them taken out. We need them taken out, and we need them taken out in the direction that we believe market is going to go in. All right, so I personally believe market is going to break down, so I am downward facing. And by the way, all of this, I got all of that. I screwed up this area, but all of this, I got all of that on a Friday. All of it on a Friday, literally, and it was fantastic, right? But that move from here to here is a long time of getting my ass whooped by the markets, right? And I'm sharing all of that with you, how to go about it, right? How to go about it for yourselves, because obviously all of the top traders in the world, right, the ones that weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth anyway, all started from somewhere, right? All started from somewhere, and you and I were part of that journey. We're starting out from somewhere too, and it's only a matter of time until we are around the level that we're supposed to be at, based on how much time and how much dedication and the consistency and the persistency of us doing this relentlessly and not giving up at all, not listening to the naysayers, just making sure we stay focused and we get things popping, and everything will work out. Okay, so next week, these are the zones that we want to keep an eye on. 15,533.7, that's the high side, and the low side we're looking at 15 173.8. If either one of these are taken out, then we need to think about how we need to do things, and well, either we follow the direction of it, or we wait until it gets to a place that we're like, okay, cool, we can do something. So with all of that covered, my awesome people from all around the world, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so, turn on the notification, and drop us a like. You're interested in building a bot? Look in the description. Information is in there, will help you out. Also, check out the blog page as well. Books in there that will definitely help you along your journey. All right, so these are the things that I'm recommending, and also a link to TradingView if you're not using MetaTrader and you're definitely thinking about building a bot. The bot in the description is more targeted towards MetaTrader users, okay? But I do know that if you do want to build a bot with TradingView, you're going to need PineScript, all right? So if that's something you're interested in, you can then naturally, straight after watching this video, go into the search bar and type in how do you set up PineScript, and then you go about doing that, and you see how you get on, and hopefully you guys can build something really awesome and phenomenal that will go about, I mean, set in place the process for you to begin totally transforming your lives. So with all of that covered, my awesome people from all around the world, I want to thank you for coming over to watch another episode of NAS100 analysis today, and I will see you on the next one. So until then, happy trading and stay winning.